This is It's Not in the Syllabus Podcast, the how-tos of a student beyond classroom walls. This is the podcast where you, yes you, get to learn what they don't teach you at school and ace that test called life, or at least get a passing grade and get by. It's Not in the Syllabus is a podcast brought to you by the Adventist International Institute of Advanced Studies, together with the Student Association, where we feature stories by the students and for the students. Join us as we discover life lessons you'll surely need.
Welcome to another episode of It's Not in the Syllabus, the how-tos of the students beyond class wall. And we are in episode 50, one of the special episode, because here right now we are going to talk with some critical people who has been beyond the scene, making sure this student podcast at AIIAS is what it is today. And our topic is the PhD and professional career journey at AIIAS. We are going to talk with a professional and a PhD graduate at AIIAS. So let me introduce you our guest, or my guest in this podcast, beginning with Dr. Bruce. Dr. Bruce, how are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Good to see you, good to have you here. And Dr. Bruce is the PR director at AIIAS, and he also serves as the marketing director. What else? Alumni and
student recruitment.
He also teaches marketing at graduate school in the business department. Am I correct?
That's correct, Dr. Eddie.
Great to have you here. And next one is a person, a lady. Should I say a lady or? Okay, lady, good. A lady who has been communicating with all the guests that you see here, and her name is not other than Isti. I don't want to say the last name.
Sarempaa.
Yes. So Isti is a recent PhD graduate in education, major in curriculum and
instruction.
Yes. Very good. So it's good to have you here. Isti is the one who has been communicating with all the guests and making sure we have the smooth sailing in our podcast. So let's dive in our conversation with this topic, the PhD and professional career journey at AIIAS. So let me begin with Isti. Isti, what drew you to take a PhD?
Well, honestly, PhD here in AIIAS was never part of my plan, or even like a dream that, came to my mind that, I would like to take PhD in AIIAS someday. Never. It was never part of my life journey, or not journey, life plan. I came from a small island where life is only like, sustaining, go to fish and enjoy life. Going to school is no, we don't think like that. Or just take bachelor, continue life, that's all. But I guess God, planned for me and dreamt for me. When I was working, there was a scholarship offer from AIIAS that was given to us, and I did the process, and I came here by faith.
By faith?
Yes.
Not knowing that you will finish your PhD?
No, I came just for master.
Okay.
I received the scholarship for master, and then the pandemic came, and I was like, what should I do with life? There was no employment, there's no such thing, and flight ticket back home.
Okay.
No, we cannot mention that, it's like too expensive. So I was like, what should I do? And one night, I would mention Dr. Brian Sumendap called me, and he asked me.
Well, before you mention Dr. Brian Sumendap is the elder brother of Dr. Bruce Sumendap.
Yes. And he asked me a very interesting question. He asked me like this: what prayer did you pray? And I was like, He asked me again, what prayer did you pray? I said, just a normal human being prayer. And he said, what prayer did you pray? And I said, I don't know. And he said, there is a person who would like to sponsor you for your PhD. And I'm like, yeah. I said, what? So like, is this a dream or something like that?
These were not even part of your prayer.
No, I honestly didn't pray for that. Like, because my thought is just like, maybe I should go home and start working, something like that. And God had His plan, and boom, PhD. And
Very
here I am today.
So the Bible verse that says, "Before I formed you, I knew you," it's
Yes.
actually applicable into your life.
Yes.
So what research did you focus on in your PhD? Can you briefly talk about it?
Okay, so my dissertation focused on culture that is called shame and honor culture.
Okay.
Culture that I think Dr. Bruce and I shared for the Asian countries.
Okay.
Actually, I came across that during my class assignments that we were asked to make a mini ethnography about Philippines. And when I was reading, I found about this HIA,
Yeah.
the
Okay.
Filipino culture of HIA, the
Yeah.
shame.
Shame.
Yes. And while reading, I was like, oh, I think I can relate to this. I think it's me. And there were many encounters that led me to that. And at the end, I did my dissertation on a contextualized English teaching model for a shame and honor culture. Why I did this? The main reason is that most of the teaching strategies, teaching models, especially for English, they followed the Western style.
Correct.
And we know that Western theories, they have this cultural background that is very different from Asian.
Correct. Correct.
And most of the time we see like, oh, what is wrong with our students? Why are they not progressing? And maybe because we are doing it differently. We are doing it not meeting the cultural expectations of the students. Because, like, for example, we have students with disability in our classroom, right?
Correct.
When we have this kind of students, we tailor our teaching models and strategies to meet the needs of the students.
Correct.
How about cultural needs of our students? So that's the focus of my study, was to contextualize teaching model that tailor and meet the needs of the students who come from this shame and honor cultural background.
Wow, interesting.
Yes.
I'm sure your findings are also interesting to
Yeah.
look at it. Dr. Bruce, to you, I would like to know, or we would like to know, you have been holding several offices. You are still holding them, PR, recruiting, alumni, and marketing. So how has been your experience at AIIAS as a professional individual?
Thank you for that interesting question, Dr. Eddie. Well, I actually have only one position, which is the PR director, but it has some other functions connected to that position.
Correct.
And as you have rightly mentioned, I am also in charge of the alumni relations office, the marketing function, the student recruitment, and some areas of advancement. It's interesting because when I came to AIIAS, I somehow knew that I would be wearing multiple hats. That's our term in the office, wearing multiple hats, because eventually PR is geared towards bringing in more students.
Correct, correct.
And bringing in more students means you need a good marketing strategy. And of course, one of the biggest base for resources will be the alumni, and so that's how the whole thing fits together into one office. For me, it has been helpful for this kind of setup. But it has also been challenging because you're a marketing expert, and you know that PR is part of the bigger picture of marketing.
Correct.
PR is just part of marketing.
Correct.
And the different functions actually come together. What I'm thankful is because AIIAS sees all this coming together to support the mission of bringing in more students to have the opportunity to develop themselves in the field of leadership, and also to bring in more students to know the opportunity, because marketing is about creating value.
Values, yeah.
And our task on a day-to-day basis, whether it's alumni relations, student recruitment, is how to communicate value, how to tell the world the value of the AIIAS degree,
Correct.
the value of the student experience, the value of the engagement between students and faculty. So that's what I see as very rewarding for me. Even though we wear different hats, we also wear different hats in terms of the technicalities, because each one of us in the office, we have a graphic designer, we have a social media specialist, we have editors, news writers.
Correct.
But everyone is expected to do the task of the other colleagues.
Correct.
For example, I need to master or have a working knowledge in doing website, in doing social media promotion. The editor of flags also need to have some skills in editing, photography and those stuff. So that's just, for me, a kind of environment that's that helps people grow more than what they came to do.
Okay.
I know it's a challenge for some people because there's so many things to learn. But for me, so far it has been a good place to grow professionally.
So basically, what you're saying is, if you are professional at AIIAS, you are expected to wear several hats.
Well, I couldn't comment on other departments.
Of course.
But definitely in my department, you need to wear different hats. Otherwise, if you're not there, then nobody else
Will do
could
the
accomplish that. Yeah.
Well, very good. So, Isti, back to you. You know, as a PhD or as a PhD graduate, there are challenges, or you face at least challenge, I will assume. So what are some of the challenges that you face during your doctoral degree?
Same as Dr. Bruce, I wore many hats
Okay.
as a student. I accepted many, responsibilities.
One of them is this one. Actually.
Yes, one of them is this. This is the byproduct of the responsibilities that I assumed. And, there is this thought, and not only me, but maybe other students also think that when you're writing, just writing, so I can accept other things too, because it's just writing.
Yeah.
And I fell into that temptation of thinking, okay, it's just writing, so let me do other things also. I mean, I didn't start those responsibilities when I was writing, but instead of cutting some of them, I continue with those responsibilities.
Correct.
The main challenge was to stay focused on your writing.
Stay focused.
Because of so many responsibilities at the same time. When I came to writing, no more energy. Most of the time I sit, I look at my dissertation in front of the computer. I sit, I look at it. 1 hour, 2 hours, nothing.
No idea coming up.
Nothing, no idea. I read again. I was like, what should I say? What should I do with this? And when I just started to have something in my head, another meeting
again,
another call of this. So leave them, leave the writing again, doing other things. That's the most challenging part for my journey.
So the challenge was to stay focused.
Yes.
Amidst the several appointments you had or responsibilities
Yes.
you had here at AIIAS. So what advice will you tell maybe a PhD who is writing right now? You're also in the same boat as you experienced. What will you say briefly?
Make boundaries.
Make boundaries.
Yes.
Learn to say no.
Yes, learn to say no.
Great. So Bruce, how do your professional experience in various departments contribute to the AIIAS mission and vision? And this is actually a major thing. I know you are holding a very key position, but how did it contribute? How do you feel that is contributing to the mission and vision of AIIAS?
Well, before I answer that, the mission of AIIAS is to develop leaders through distinctively Seventh-day Adventist graduate education, excelling in spirituality, scholarship, and service. So the key word there is developing leaders.
Correct.
So my role, I see myself as part of communicating value about how AIIAS can help you develop yourself professionally through advanced degrees.
Correct.
So the more people come to know about AIIAS, the more opportunity opens up people can come and realize that they can do more with their advanced degrees. They can actually make change, make a better change, could positively impact the world around them. That's why when after the pandemic or during the pandemic, we changed the slogan of AIIAS to change your world. What it simply means is that leaders should be able to change. If they cannot change the world, they can change their world, so their scope, so how they can influence the surroundings, the people. And that's what AIIAS is all about.
Correct.
And so my role is to communicate to the world that here at AIIAS, people can change their world. They can go back to their field or go to a new mission field.
Correct.
And bring changes and carry out the mission of the church, Seventh-day Adventist Church at large. So I think that's how I connect with the mission.
Very
my
good.
part of work.
So you were able to bring new ideas, new insights, and one of them is change your world.
Yes.
Was your world changed?
I can testify. Maybe for now I don't go out to the world, but I can say that I'm a changed person from the first time I came here to AIIAS, and I am right now. I was able, being here in AIIAS, I was able to feel the change in my world.
Correct.
Yes.
As a person, as a professional.
So
Yes.
so the slogan made an impact.
Yes.
and if I can comment that what the two of you are doing through this podcast is changing the world, because when people follow through the different episodes and learn things that is not being taught in the classroom and try to connect on what's being taught and what the actual things outside of the classrooms actually support one another. I think that's the change that the two of you are making.
Very good.
Praise God.
And this change actually comes in various ways. One of them is relationship. And as a PhD graduate, I'll keep on repeating this to emphasize that she graduated.
Thank you.
Yes.
Dr. Bruce,
Both of you graduated. Two of you.
What was your relationship with your supervisor, and how did it shape you? And maybe kindly begin by saying who was your supervisor and how this relationship with him or her shaped who you are today.
Okay, so my research advisor and my, of course, supervisor is Dr. Safari Wambaleka.
Okay.
Before he became my supervisor, he was my teacher.
Okay.
He was my professor. And at first, I'm coming from my culture, it's like, I'm scared of professors. Something like that.
And it's the same thing here.
It's like there's this invisible wall that cannot see, but only until there, something like that. But then when I started writing, and I see how this wall is gradually changed, or broken down. He becomes not only a supervisor. He's my personal cheerleaders, can say, because I mentioned my difficulties or my challenge during writing. He looked for me when I was lost.
All right. Wow.
I was lost in, I couldn't do anything, and he emailed me. He said, "Hi, Isti, how is your progress? Please, if you need something, let me know. What can I help?" And something like that. And there was a time also that I really quitting. I want to quit. I don't want to do this anymore. And I emailed him and I said, "Please, I am tired."
Wow.
And he emailed me back with a long suggestions. And one thing that I remember, he said, "Go out of AIIAS. Take a vacation. Leave your computer." He said, "Go out and enjoy a little bit. Let your mind be freshened up."
Yeah.
And I did. I went home. I went home, and it was very good, how can I say, suggestions that he gave me. And also, he becomes how can I say, a ray of sunshine for me.
Wow.
In a way that, he doesn't only check your work. Like when I submit my paper, he doesn't only check what I submitted at the time. He went back to my first chapter and compare what I did in my first chapter and what I did in what I'm doing now. And he told me how I have grown.
All right.
He checked little thing that I have, maybe developed.
Correct.
And he told me, hey, congratulations, you have grown in this particular part. And he kept encouraging me every single time that he gave me feedback.
Correct.
We didn't have much like video conference or something like that, but his feedbacks are just so detailed that I don't have to meet him because he already gave me all those detailed plan on what to do.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
So I can say that I'm lucky.
Blessed.
And blessed. Yes, let's say word blessed. Yeah, I'm blessed to have him as a supervisor. And another thing also, not only him, but my methodologist, Dr. Arceli Rosario, and my member, Dr. Talibong. Dr. Arceli Rosario, she's very busy.
Yeah.
She's the president of AUP. But whenever she has time, she would call me. Sometimes like midnight, she would call me, Isti, this is what you should do, and this.
Wow.
And like 11, 12 a.m., Isti, I'm sorry, but this is the only time. Okay, ma'am, let's go, let's do this. And it's just like so amazing having like a mother figure.
Yeah.
And one time that she gave me a lot of list of things to do, and at the end she said, Isti, I love you. And I'm like, huh?
Wow.
And I'm like, wow, like
deep.
where do you find dissertation committee who would say
Love
to you,
you.
I love you? And I'm like, Lord, thank you very much.
No, you will find it AIIAS.
Yes, only in AIIAS that you find this kind of supervisors, because most of the time the supervisor will only tell you what to do.
What to do.
But how about your mental? Because I was like so drowned
Correct.
that just this I love you sentence changed everything.
Gives you motivation to keep on going.
Yes.
Wow. So there was
It's
a
amazing.
positive relationship.
It is.
There were constant feedback and evaluation of growth.
Yes.
And there is also emotional side of it, of the
Yes.
feedback.
Yeah.
So which is good. Dr. Bruce, what is the most rewarding and challenges aspect of your position here at AIIAS?
I would say, first of all, the most rewarding experience for me is to be able to meet students from all over the world.
Correct.
And prospective students, because part of my work is to promote AIIAS in some events outside of AIIAS and be able to know their dreams.
Correct.
And let them know that when you come to AIIAS, it's going to be a start of how you can realize your dreams. So being engaged with an international community also, with the faculty who comes from different disciplines, different backgrounds, that's a rewarding experience for me. And the challenging part is, of course, when we need certain targets for student enrollment, when we do a campaign, a marketing campaign, and we get responses which are oftentimes just too many to address. So some of our campaigns can result in multiple inquiries within the day, maybe 2 or 3 inquiries every hour for the duration of the campaign. The challenge is how do we address all these questions? People are asking how to apply, what are the scholarship opportunities. So we are a small department, but every time we have a campaign, we need lots and lots of people to respond to the questions. So I think that's one challenge that needs to be addressed, is to be able to answer questions through social media, mainly through social media.
Correct.
Because people now, emails is a secondary thing. People contact AIIAS through instant messaging, WhatsApp, and social media. If you don't have people who are well versed in social media, not only well versed but available to respond in a timely manner. Because nowadays, if people chat with you and you don't answer within an hour, they lose interest.
Correct.
They go elsewhere. If I were to come to IAS and said, send me an application, and nobody answers you within the hour, I just my worry is that people will
just leave.
will just leave.
Will just
so
leave.
that's just one challenge
Wow,
that we
wow.
need to address. Yeah.
Good. I like the rewarding part is to be able to work with different individuals coming from
Yes.
all over the world.
Yes, and different time zones too.
Yeah,
Remember,
different time zones.
our target market is not in a specific geography area.
Sure.
It's around the world. So my dream is to have someone from the different time zones being able to respond according to the time zone of the person inquiring.
Wow.
That would just be
Very good. Very
wonderful.
Good. We are actually towards the end, but let's go. Let's dive into more two ideas that we want to talk about. At this time, Dr. Isti, I want you to tell us what are some of the things that you think AIIAS could improve. When I say AIIAS, mainly your department, which is the education department. What could some of the suggestions that you could suggest to improve the AIIAS education department, or maybe in general, if you wish to talk about graduate school?
Okay, that's a very good question. I think one of the suggestions that I can give is to open a postgraduate
Okay.
on research. Yes. I know AIIAS is strong on research.
Correct. Effect is
Yes.
one of the element of the mission
Yes.
statement.
But
Research.
why not we go a little bit
Will
one
you-
step
Will
further?
will you take it?
Maybe after 10 years.
Okay.
But yes, it will be great to have this. And my next suggestion is to have more TESOL professors.
More TESOL professors.
Yes,
Okay.
because there's this growing interest in English teaching,
Correct.
and we know that world is getting more open with English, and AIIAS should take this opportunity to have more students in TESOL. Maybe open a PhD in TESOL.
Why not?
Why not
Now
PhD
they have
in
PhD in education, instructional curriculum, and
administration, but
And then-
why not TESOL too? That one I will take in 5 years.
I see.
If it opens.
You have a candidate
Yes,
already.
yes. Maybe if not TESOL, linguistics or any English
That's good. That's
English
good.
teaching.
That's good.
That's the suggestions I can give.
Very good. So the first one is to open a postdoc, right? In
Yes.
education or in anything. In
Anything.
School. And the second one to have more TESOL professors
Yes.
on campus, maybe off campus, and also a PhD. I think those are
Yes,
three.
yes.
PhD in TESOL. Dr. Bruce, how has your professional career progressed since your completion of your PhD, and what are some of the key accomplishments?
Actually, as I learned along the way in my PhD journey, I have always tried to implement what I learned in this classroom and what I do
Okay.
in my work. So all throughout, because I'm not sure if many of us are aware, but being an employee at AIIAS, we have this opportunity to take free classes on continuing education, one subject per semester, and I took the opportunity. So every time I took a class, I like to implement it right away. Just to give you some examples, when I took classes about quality and change management, I tried to implement the concept of process, working not compartmentalizing work,
Yeah.
but working as a team,
Correct.
which I found out to be quite challenging because in an organizational setup, when your department is so much focused in admissions, only doing admissions, the school's only focusing on teaching and learning, and you have human resource, only of human resource. When you when I learned in the classroom that you need to have a process,
Correct.
so everyone is involved on a certain idea. For example, student recruitment. So in a student recruitment, it's not just the PR doing it. It needs elements of admissions. It needs elements of student services and finance. So one of the challenges that I got is when I tried to implement this. One experience I had with a senior administrator who told me, well, it's quite difficult because we might be overstepping other people's feet. Then I realized, well, maybe this is too radical of an idea, but then I realized I need to come in slowly, one step at a time, and having people just involved and not really saying, okay, when we're doing this campaign, you need to be here, you need to be doing that. That won't work.
All right.
But through relationship and communication. But let me express this and to the audience. What
Maybe
I
you can
find,
look at that
what I
camera.
find is what's important is to have a good communication skill. So, Dr. Eddie, Dr. Isti, you have mentioned this in many of your podcasts. Communication skill, I think, is so important. Even if you have a good degree, even if you've mastered research, but if you cannot communicate well, I don't think you'll enjoy your success. I think communication skill, and I have been in this field. I'm not saying I'm perfect in communications, but I would say communication skills means that you're able to verbalize, articulate yourself. You're being able to negotiate, and someone who can negotiate, who can verbalize,
Correct.
it's just unstoppable.
Correct.
So I advise that in order to bring change in any field,
Correct.
try to develop communication skills.
And we go right to the last question, which is to send a message to someone. And I know this is very critical in a sense, because there were many people that have impacted your lives and my life as well at AIIAS. But in a professional level, if you are to send a message to someone, there might be two, there might be three, but someone, this is critical. You just choose one, a person who has impacted your life. What will that message be? And maybe if you are free to say a name, if you're not, it's okay. But what will that message be in 1 minute? I think we can still have time to accommodate that. What will that message be? I want you to look right at that camera where we could have that message.
All right, I would like to mention two names. The first one, he was my MBA professor. His name is Roger Dunder. I would like to mention him because he has impacted on my career and my passion for e-commerce, communications, and my love for learning. I came to AIIAS just wanting to finish an MBA degree, but then I realized that I can grow a lot in marketing and in communications. So he believed in me in many ways. He would invite me and some of my classmates to work in the computer lab for the whole night, and we would spend the whole night, designing websites and doing some projects. And looking back, I'm just thankful that he believed in me. The second person I would like to mention is Stephen Guptill, the former president of AIIAS, who actually invited me to come to AIIAS about 12 years ago.
Wow, wonderful.
So I'm just thankful that he believed in my potential, and he was a good mentor. He had a background in PR and marketing, so we relate a lot. We connect in so many levels. So I just would like to say thank you to Dr. Guptill and Sir Roger Dunder for making an impact in my professional life.
Very good.
So that's it.
Very good. Thank you. Dr. Isti, go ahead.
Wow, this is very difficult. I will mention one person, and then the second one is for
General.
general, because I know there are many people who
Of course.
have impacted my life. The first person I would like to mention is my advisor, Dr. Safari Mambaleka.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you very much for seeing the potential in me.
I want you to look
Yes.
at that camera.
Yes.
He's going to watch it later
Yes.
on.
I would like to say thank you for seeing the potential in me the first time I sat in your office. Shy, not knowing anything, why I was here, but he saw my potential and he believed in me.
Amen.
Thank you. Thank you for even noticing every single step I took and turned them into something bigger.
I feel like crying.
Please. I'm just so amazed that there would be a teacher who is very interested in your growth, every single thing that you do, and even not only giving you enough, but challenge you to do more, even to the part that I never knew I can. And he challenged me that, hey, you can do this, do this, and do that. And I'm just so grateful that I have him as my advisor.
Wonderful.
I'm really grateful. And to those who, the second one is to those who have given me the opportunity to be here. Thank you very much for being God's hands and extended arms to help me to walk through this journey. As someone I mentioned, coming from a small island, I never dared to dream to come here. But thank you for being the extensions of God's hand to go with me and walk with me, and to hold my hands in the most difficult times that I never imagined. But with their help and prayers, prayers is very important. Yes, prayers that help me to reach to what I am now.
Wow, this is actually one of the most emotional segments we have ever recorded. It's emotional because it's the last, I guess.
Yes.
Maybe not the last time we're gonna be together, but it's gonna be difficult to be together in this stage again.
Yes.
Maybe the AIIAS because some of us are leaving. I also want to have a message. I have two names. There are several people that have impacted my life, but two names comes to mind. One is Dr. Kefa Pondi. As Isti rightly mentioned, that Dr. Kefa Dr. Safari saw potential in her. Dr. Kefa saw potential in me.
Yes.
Dr. Kefa would have he gave me 2 months to write my proposal. He said, Eddie, I'll give you 2 months to write your proposal. Not more than that. I want you to finish. I want you to go home. And not just him and his wife. And being a self-sponsored student, honestly speaking, there were times I had no food. And I would spend hours in his office with Dr. Kefa. Dr. Kefa will tell me, okay, let's go home, let's eat. Not knowing that there was no food at home. And he would say, let's go home and eat, because I used to work with him as a graduate assistant under his office. And he actually developed a passion for research. I have graduated from a PhD in business, major in human resource, but I've loved, from the day one, I've loved research, and he's the one who actually put that passion, and I'm thankful for whatever he is. I think he'll be watching it. May God bless you. And the second is my family through my wife. I been here as a married man, and without my wife, I have not seen my sons being born. I left home when my wife was pregnant. With 3 months, we only got to know a week after I left. And my wife has been there hanging on by herself. Being these 4 years has been tough, but she was there. So to those, I thank you for being able to support and contribute to our success here. So no more sadness. This is a joy moment, and it's a joy moment because we have talked about PhD and professional career journey at AIIAS, and this is our last segment as a group. And we thank Dr. Bruce, who has been supportive from day one when Isti dropped the proposal into his desk that we should have a student podcast. We also thank Kimberly, was one of the MC, the guest here, host here. And Dr. Bruce also had to do the hosting at some time. And I received the invitation to do the hosting to now. And we want to pass on to the next leadership. Maybe they could embrace this, because it's through this conversation I'm sure people have been blessed. I've received also comments that some of the discussions here have changed their worldview, have changed their mind, and we want the leadership to continue doing this. So maybe one last word, and then we invite Dr. Say Arno here, who is the man behind everything also here, to come, and you will see how this team was able to bring to you what it's not in the syllabus. Maybe last word from Dr. Bruce and Dr. Isti, and then we call it an end.
I just would like to extend my deepest appreciation to Doc Eddie, Doc Isti, and Sir Arnold, who made this dream come true of having our first ever student podcast project at AIIAS. The first ever. You know, this won't happen without determination and visionary people like them. So I am so blessed to get to know them and to work with them. They're such wonderful people, dedicated, very humble, down to earth, as you see. But these are great leaders now. Even now they are already leaders, and I'm sure they will make huge impact around the world. And Sir Arnold, you've been behind the camera, and you've been sacrificing a lot of family time. Because your work doesn't end with this interview.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Post-production is a lot of work, because I've been in post-production. So Arnold, thank you so much. May God continue to bless you in your ministry here at AIIAS. And God continue to bless Doc Eddie, Doc Isti in your future journey from here onwards, and your families be blessed.
Thank you. Dr.
Thank you.
Isti.
Thank you for all of you. And first of all, thank you to Sir Bruce for accepting and embracing our crazy little idea to begin with. Yes. Actually, me and Kimberly Contour, we sat together, and she was like, "Hey, Ka, why don't we do a podcast?" I said, "Let's do it, and let's go to Sir Bruce." And the moment we presented to Sir Bruce, he said, "Okay, let's do it." Thank you for accepting and embracing this. We have received many good and positive impact, or like comments from people saying thank you for what you're doing, and thank you, Eddie, for taking this to the next level, for asking questions, challenging questions. Thank you. And Sir Arnold, I can't thank you enough for everything you've done, and to all our guests.
Correct.
Thank you for giving your precious,
guests.
a very busy time to be part of our podcast, and very responsive. We are so grateful with all the ideas and the conversations we had. We are truly blessed.
Amen.
Thank you
so much.
So now we're gonna see the man behind the camera. You're gonna see him in front of the camera.
Yes.
So Arnold. So this is it from us. Until next time, this is our team. We hope the next leadership will take the vision and continue with It's Not in the Syllabus. The how-tos of the students beyond
the classroom walls. Thank you, AIIAS.
Thank you, AIIAS. God bless you all.